Thank you very much, Senator Merkley and Chief. Next up, a very constructive member of this committee as well, Senator Capito. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair, and I want to thank the Chief on behalf of a grateful recipient of the service that you and the U.S. Capitol Police provide on this campus and in our districts and many times to look at the security of our own offices and our own homes. And sometimes I want to express our deep appreciation and gratitude. So thank you, and I hope you'll pass that along. I read through your statement, and I read a news clip, I guess, this morning, talking about the scars that are remaining from the Capitol Police from the January 6th incident, terrible incident. How is the morale? I mean, how many of your officers have actually asked for additional mental health? Do you feel you have the capacities for that? I know you've increased that. Where is your level of concern right now, a year later?
One of the priorities we had was to make sure we had programs in place to deal with not only just the daily stress of the job, but folks that were actually who have gone through traumatic incidents, who experienced that trauma. So we have instituted a robust peer support program. We're in the process of hiring. I think we've already actually hired a couple trauma counselors. We've got formal programs in place now so that officers can seek that help. I can't tell you how many have sought that help because it's confidential, and because when they...
I was just looking for a general ballpark.
Yeah, well,
is there a great take-up of this? Or
I think that a fair number of officers have have availed themselves to these services, and I think as they hear from other officers how much these programs have helped, it may encourage more officers to seek that help as well. I'm glad you asked about the morale issue. Morale, for someone who's been a cop for over 42 years, morale is always, what I've learned is it's in the eye of the beholder. You're always going to have cops that will tell you, oh, morale's the worst it's ever been. But you have other cops that every day they show up, no matter what happens, they're happy to be there and love their job. So it's really, what it comes down to is, and I think for us, is these officers need to believe in their hearts that this department cares about them, that what happened on January 6th, where the department let them down in so many ways, that the department will take responsibility for fixing those failures and for making sure that never happens again. And that's going to take time. For some officers, they've seen some of the improvements, and I think that they appreciate it. But for other officers, perhaps a little more cynical, perhaps they're going to wait till the first time we're tested again. And are we ready for that test? And so it's one of my responsibilities to make sure we restore that confidence, for the officers in the department.
Let me ask you this. A lot of, in the retrospective that we've done in this committee and other committees, there were, on the intelligence side, questions as to was social media paid enough attention to, in the run-up to January the 6th. What adjustments have you made in terms of the coordination between you and other agencies in terms of the social media monitoring?
So this is one of the areas where we are taking more responsibility, and we can focus on. And we're not trying to worry about something that's going on in a foreign country. What we're worried about and what we're paying attention to is threats against Congress and threats against the Capitol. That is our focus. And so while you have other intelligence community folks that are looking at anything and everything, we've got folks in place now that are paying attention to those kinds of threats, those statements that cause concern. So we've got folks that not only are looking at that are watching for that, but we are also then ensuring that if it crosses that line in terms of being a crime, what someone says in social media, that we follow up on that with an investigation.
Is that different? I mean, has that changed over the last year? That's a new addition.
Yes, we've got more people that are doing that.
Yeah, good.
Well, I think before the 6th, I'm not sure we had anybody doing it, but we've got, I think, 8 or 9 people in place now that are doing that, with more on the horizon. Our biggest challenge right now is keeping up with the caseload in terms of the threats
Right.
against Congress, the ones that cross that line where we do have to do a criminal investigation.
Well, thank you again, and I know I did want to ask about, I know you've been asked about the 400 openings that you've talked about and the recruitment, and, you know, I know that there, probably law enforcement in general, I don't know what the female ratio is, but I'm sure it's quite low. So I noticed that too in the Capitol Police. So I'm hoping that you're making special efforts to diversify the workforce as you've got this opportunity to hire more people. It's a great career, and I'm certainly grateful, as I stated. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Capito. Next up, Senator King, who brings his strong sense of independence